Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind, especially after reading a lot of the comments on my videos. There's a growing group in the BJJ community that's fully committed to the ecological approach to training. And let me be clear, I respect it. It's backed up by science and there's a lot of value in it. But here's where things start to feel a little weird or off for me. It's not just that they believe in their method. It's that they act like every other approach is wrong. I've been told I shouldn't drill, shouldn't use memorization, shouldn't watch instructionals, and that my method isn't valid because of science. The Jargon Wall. A lot of these conversations throw around terms like perception, action coupling, affordance, emergent behavior, representative learning design, information movement coupling, and self-organizing systems. And honestly, that's cool if you truly understand them. But too often when I ask for a simple explanation, the answer is either look it up.
It has to be. This is like, I don't even know how to tell you this because you can go look it up yourself.
I have a PhD in this stuff, man.
Oh, shit.
Or it's explained in a way that's still too complex for most of us to grasp. So it makes me wonder, are people just trying to sound smart, or am I just too simple-minded? Either way, my belief is this. If you can't explain something in simple terms, do you really understand it well enough to teach it? That's why I plan to study more about ecological approach and these key terms, not just to memorize buzzwords, but to genuinely understand what these coaches and experts are actually trying to say. Does ecological mean no preparation? And that brings me to something I've been thinking about a lot lately. It kind of feels like the ecological approach discourage any kind of preparation. Like, don't take notes, don't study, don't try to remember anything ahead of time. Just show up and figure it all out through experience. But that doesn't make sense to me. Imagine trying to learn a language and someone tells you, don't learn the vocabulary, just start speaking, and the words will come to you. That might work if you're fully immersed every day, but if you're only speaking once or twice a week, how are you supposed to become fluent? So when people say just roll and then toss around scientific terms to justify it, it honestly starts to feel like science is being used to shut down preparation entirely. Like seriously, is having prior knowledge suddenly a sin in this community? Because to me, preparation isn't the enemy of growth, it's what fuels it. I'm not trying to avoid the grind, I'm trying to be ready for it. Is anyone really purely ecological? And let me ask this, are you telling me no ecological BJJ practitioner has ever watched an instructional, never been tempted to rewind a technique on YouTube, never drilled something behind their coach's back because they wanted to clean it up? Is there even such a thing as pure ecological grappler? Because if not, then maybe we need to stop pretending like structured or traditional learnings is the enemy. If most people are still doing it anyway, even quietly, then clearly it has value. BJJ is like a language. Here's how I see it. As just a regular hobbyist trying to get better, to put it simply, I think learning BJJ is like learning a language. And when I use my code method through nonverbal notes, visualization, and spaced repetition, I'm not memorizing just to memorize. I'm trying to make it easier to learn and remember the vocabulary. Guard passes, submissions, positions, sweeps, transitions, that's my vocabulary. Rolling, that's speaking the language and practicing to refine the words. But if I don't know or keep forgetting the words, how am I supposed to start speaking? Ecological folks often say, don't memorize, just roll. Just speak, and like a baby learning how to walk, it will come. But I think that only works if you're training all the time, 5 or 6 days a week. Most of us can't. What about the hobbyists? Let's be real, most of us aren't full-time athletes. We've got jobs, families, and responsibilities. If we're lucky, we can train once or twice a week. And when that's the case, if we keep forgetting what we learned in the last class, we're not really progressing. We're just spinning our wheels. That's where I think my method really helps. It's not about shortcuts or avoiding hard work. It's about making the limited time I do get on the mats more efficient and productive. And here's something I rarely hear people talk about. If I actually wanted to follow the ecological approach exactly as intended, with constraint-led games, task-based sparring, and zero step-by-step instruction, I need to find a gym that teaches that way. But most gyms today still follow a traditional or hybrid structure. To go fully ecological, I probably have to leave the gym I'm loyal to and go hunting for one of the few places that run that model. And depending on where you live, those gyms might not even exist yet. So at some point, this isn't just about theory, it's about reality. Not everyone has access to an elite ecological training environment, but we still want to improve. And look, being told to read research papers or listen to hour-long podcasts about how great ecological training is, sure, that might make me more informed, but it's not going to make me better at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because ecological training depends on the learning environment. That's the whole point. The environment plays a critical role in shaping your skill. So unless I can train somewhere built around that philosophy, I'm not getting the full benefits. It's not either or. I'm not saying ecological training is bad. In fact, I love to try it if I ever get the chance to train at a gym that offers it. But I honestly think it becomes even more powerful when it's paired with retention and memorization strategies like mine. When I step on the mat, I don't want to just react and figure out everything instinctively or naturally. I want to recognize, I want to see a position and immediately feel, yeah, I've seen and remembered this. I visualized and prepared for this. I know what's possible here. That's not anti-science. That's using a different branch of science. Cognitive science. And just to be clear, my premise isn't that you should recall every step of a technique you are using mid-roll, like a script. My goal is to reinforce pattern recognition off the mats so that when I do roll, I can react and adapt more smoothly. So no, I don't think I'm wrong for wanting to memorize the vocabulary before I start speaking. And if you're someone who struggles with retention or only trains a couple times a week, then maybe my method can help you too, like it has for me. I do love the idea of how ecological training pushes you to problem solve under pressure and adapt in real time. That's the essence of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But I just think it's even more powerful when your brain has some structure to work and blend it with. But anyways, thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments, whether you agree, disagree, or have something to teach me. I want to hear it. Challenge me, correct me. Let's keep learning together.